بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين على من تبع هداهم إلى يوم الدين. This is the second part of the seminar regarding Hajj and Umrah. And the last time that we have discussed was all the things that related to how to make the state of Ihram and the locations and the mawaqit, and we also showed you the Umrah step by step. And we came to the point where we finished the Umrah and we are at the moment in a state of no Ihram because we're doing Hajj Tamattu'. So we are spending days. Those days it could be a week, it could be more than that. If you make your Umrah in Shawwal, it could be 2 months. Spending these days in order to wait for the Hajj on the 8th of the Hijjah. So there are a couple of things that we need to talk about before we start with the Hajj. First of all, if you did Tamattu', you completed your Umrah, now remain in a state of no Ihram, call it Hil, until the 8th day of the Hijjah. You use your time wisely and you try to attend the congregational prayer. And remember, the congregational prayer is multiplied 27 times. If you miss the congregational prayer, then don't miss to pray in the Haram itself, because the Salah is multiplied 100,000. And this multiple is only in the Masjid al-Haram. For people telling you that you could do it in the hotel, you get the same multiple, or you do it in any other masjid, you get the same multiple, that's incorrect. So if you miss the Salat al-Jama'ah, pray where? In the Haram itself to get the 100,000. Try to, as I said, come to the Jama'ah, because it will multiply on top of the 100,000 27 times. But remember, because you're a traveler, it is not compulsory upon you to come to do the Jama'ah, because you're still a traveler. We say, don't waste that opportunity. Make optional tawaf as much as possible. For the non-Makkiyin, it is better for him to do tawaf rather than to do voluntary prayers. So the tawaf, because you're non-Makkiyin, you're going to have the Kaaba next to your house here in Luton. So that's why if you're on there, use your time to make as voluntary tawaf as possible. Each tawaf consists of 7 rounds followed by 2 rak'ah behind the Maqam Ibrahim. Of course, in these tawaf, you could put your socks on, you could put your shoes on, slippers on. It's no problem when you're making the tawaf, because you're not inside of Ihram. You could put your socks, and you could as well, if you've got your own normal clothes, there's no al-Bassam, which is the, I suppose in the right shoulder, there is no wrist cork. But do not exhaust yourself so much that because you've got Hajj ahead of you. Right. Also, keep yourself busy with the Salah, recitation of the Quran, Tawaf, Dhikr, recitation. Make sure that you make dua. Do not neglect all other types of ibadah, like charity, like all, other ibadahs. If you want to fast as well during the days of the Hijjah, because we have the first days of the Hijjah, Prophet told us to fast a lot in there. So fast as well. If you are traveling early, if you're traveling, for example, this week, you're traveling before the days of the Hijjah. Okay, do not walk in between a praying person and his sutra. Okay, so sutra means the shield he's praying to, whether it's a pillar or it's the back of a person. But if he doesn't have a sutra, he's praying in the middle of nowhere, and he's got a lot of gap in front of him. Keep away from his prostration spot where he prostrates. Keep away from that and go beyond it. Sutra is required for your prayer if you're praying on your own, and it's required for you to, when you're praying as well, voluntary prayer, because you're going to pray them on your own. So if you are a person behind the Imam, you don't need the sutra, because the sutra of the Imam is your sutra. But if you're praying on your own, make sure you pray to a wall, or to the back of a person, or to the pillar, to the leg of the table, leg of the chair. Okay. When entering the Masjid al-Haram and you want to sit down, and you don't want to make tawaf, then pray to Tahiyyat al-Masjid, because some people think that Tahiyyat al-Masjid al-Haram is to make tawaf. That's not correct. Masjid al-Haram, as soon as you finish your tawaf al-Qudum and you make your Umrah, it becomes like a normal masjid, in terms of entering the masjid and making Tahiyyat al-Masjid and everything. But if you want to go straight away to the tawaf, there's no need. You just make the tawaf, because you're going to be after the tawaf, pray 2 rak'ah behind the maqam, which will include Tahiyyat al-Masjid in it as well. Beware professional beggars, because they know how to tell stories, they know how to cry as well. Okay, this is a glimpse of the Salat al-Jama'ah. This is how crowded the masjids and the roads and the paths to the Haram. Okay. Al-Hijr. What is Al-Hijr? Hijr is a part of the Kaaba, as we have explained. People of Quraysh couldn't complete the Kaaba because they didn't have enough halal sources to complete it. If you remember, we talked about that last time. So if you could really just pray within those 10 feet, you're praying actually inside the Kaaba. Okay? You're praying inside the Kaaba. If you pray inside there. Performing multiple umrahs. Now, while staying in Mecca, some people decide to perform multiple umrah, sometimes in the same day. Now, we say that this practice has no foundation in the Sunnah nor in the practice of the companions. Now, the same thing, which is making umrah after the Hajj is finished. So the same thing can be said. Repeating umrah incurs hardship and causes many pilgrims to miss the Salat al-Jama'ah, the obligatory prayer. There's an exception here, and that is to make umrah for you, not yourself, for somebody else. And that is a deceased person, dead, like a father or a mother, or a sick, that is permanently sick, which is long-term illness, or an old person who is not able to perform umrah by himself or herself. Then you are allowed to do that if they give you the go-ahead, if they said to you, go ahead and make umrah on our behalf. Or if it was a vow, that you vowed to make a umrah. And that's a vow, is an exception. So you made a vow, so you're fulfilling a vow. And vows is not good. You shouldn't be making a vow, but if you made it, you have to fulfill it. And that vow can be fulfilled from the hill. Hill means the area which is the sanctified area, and that is from the Masjid of Aisha, or from Arafah, or from Adah Libn. If you remember, we talked about the areas which the limits are for the Haram. You have to go to those limits out, which is about 13.5 miles away from the Kaaba. But Hajj now, step by step. Let's go to the summary. We've got the 8th day of the Hijjah, where we'll make the Ihram, that is to say the words. Then we go to Mina. Then the 9th of the Hijjah, which is the day of Arafah, and then the night we'll go to Muzdalifah. And then the 10th of the Hijjah, we will do all these acts, Rami, which is throwing the stones, and the sacrificial, and the cutting, and the tawaf, and the sa'i. It sounds a lot, but it's not a lot. You will see inshallah. 11th and the 12th and the 13th, this is where you're going to be throwing the jamarat, at least the 11th and the 12th. You throw the jamarat. And then the last day, which is tawaf al-wada'. This is the summary of the Hajj. Let's go slide by slide. This is the overview for Mecca and Mina and Muzdalifah and Arafah. All this is the area you're going to make Hajj into. Let's just go to it. This is Masjid al-Haram, Mecca, and that's Mina, and that is Muzdalifah, and that is Arafah. That's it. These are the areas you're going to make the Hajj in. So you got 4 names. Right. This is Aziziyah for those people who are going to Aziziyah. That's where it is situated. Okay. Aziziyah is not it's not in the packages of where there is non-shifting. If it's shifting, then you go to Aziziyah. Shifting means you're going to shift from hotels in Mecca to Aziziyah. If non-shifting, you're going to stay in Mecca, which is better. Right. This is the Jamarat area. And this is Masjid al-Khif, the masjid where 70 prophets had prayed in. Make sure that your leader takes you to there just to pray there, a prayer, to look at it. And here, Mash'ar al-Haram, where the Prophet of Allah, he stayed when he made in Muzdalifah, he stayed next to that area. It's good to see it. Maybe on that night you'll not be able to see it. And this is Masjid Namira, where the khutbah of the Arafah is delivered from, where you must have seen it on TV or video, where this blind man was always a blind man, which is the Sheikh, Aziz al-Sheikh. He does his khutbah from there, from Masjid Namira. This is where the Prophet of Allah had camped before he entered Arafah. The Dhuhr had entered, then he went inside Arafah. So he camped there. When he left Mina, he camped there until the horse fell, and then he went inside Arafah. So that's where he made the khutbah, in that area. And that's where the masjid built, Masjid Namira. Now, this masjid is part of it inside the Arafah and part of it outside. So if you happen to be in the masjid, and maybe it's impossible, but let's say a person, one of you knows how to go there, and you went there, if you find a place for yourself, because normally you will not find a place, because you're going to go into the 9th of Arafah, the 9th day, and already people had skipped Mina and they went to Arafah. So they will be in Arafah before you go to Arafah. So most of I would say the Arab world will be doing that, which is not correct. It's not the Sunnah. So you'll find them, because of the Ministry of Endowment, they tell them that, Mina is not really Sunnah, it shouldn't be. You just go to the main point, which is Arafah. Well, it's not incorrect, because you're not doing what the Prophet told us to do. So they go to Arafah and they stay in the masjid, because it's air conditioned and all of that, nice. If you happen to be there, make sure that you are at least somehow inside the limits. If you kept staying in the front rows, you'll be outside Arafah. The front rows in that masjid is outside Arafah. This is the mountain, they call it the Mountain of Mercy. There is no trace for it in the book or the Sunnah. They believe that Adam alayhi salam was sent down from Jannah onto it, which is not correct. Right, let's just go to the distance-wise. Distance-wise, these are the distances between the areas. You got almost all of them, not more than 10 miles. Can you see that? The distances between the areas. Okay, Mecca to Mina, these are the roads and the tunnels. Okay, this is where you're going to be walking this distance, by the way. You're going to be walking from here to there. When you make the Tawaf al-Ifadah after we finish on the day of Eid Rami al-Jamarat, you're going to go that. People sometimes take a car, but some people walk it from there to there. It's not even a long walk. Now we would say less than an hour. Okay. This is where the tunnels are. I'm just showing it to you. Okay, now Ihram on the 8th day of the Hijjah. So you're going to be coming from area C, because you're inside Mecca. You're not going to be outside Mecca. So you're going to be resuming Ihram from your residence, from the hotel. So you're not going to go to a place to make the Ihram like we did in the Mawaqit for the Umrah. So, on the 8th day, you do, that is in the morning, okay, you start in the hotel, that's after sunrise, okay, just before, you just say towards the Qibla, following words, Labbaik Allahumma bihajj. Here I am, O Allah, intending Hajj. Now you continue this talbiyah until the 10th day of the Hijjah. It is recommended to add the following words. Same thing as we said before. Allahumma hajjatan la riya'a fiha wa la sum'a. And Allahumma mahilli haythu habastan. Okay? Exactly the same, whether we explained that before. This is now the 8th day of Mina. Go to Mina in the morning of Yawm at-Tarwiyah, it's called. And that is for Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, Fajr. In the times with shortening. So you pray the Dhuhr in its time, 2 rak'ah. Asr, 2 rak'ah. Maghrib still 3. And Isha is 2. And Fajr of course stays 2. No combination. Right. Spend this night in Mina, and it is wajib. And in there in Mina, I would say it's a relaxing day. You're going to do a lot apart from the prayer, and you're going to get used to the Mina because you're going to stay later on in 3 days. So gather your thoughts for the following day and prepare for Arafah. This is an image for Masjid al-Khif. This is the masjid where 70 prophets had prayed in. We don't know the names of the prophets. We only got 25 names, by the way. 70 prophets, as the Prophet said, 70 prophets prayed in that masjid. It's a huge masjid, very huge, big. Fine. Now let's just go to the second slide, just show you that Mina, this is Mina. Okay, that's in Mina. Your camps, as European camps, it's going to be in this area, here. where my arrows is. Okay? That's where you are, at the back. You're close to...
Can't see your arrow.
There's no arrow.
I don't know where you can't see my arrow. Let me just see. Highlight. Can you see my thing?
Yeah.
Can you see here?
Yes. Sure.
I'm drawing. Okay. That's where you're going to be camping here. Fine? That's Mina. Alright. And here is the Jamarat area. Okay, let's go. Muzdalifah is here. So you're next to Muzdalifah. And that's the direction to Mecca. And that's Aziziyah for you. Jamarat area. Now the next image, I want to replace it. I'm really lazy, I should have replaced it a long time ago. But this is the image where old Jamarat, horrible. The new Jamarat is something different. Okay, I got the image, but I didn't replace it, subhanAllah. So that's the image of the old Jamarat. But you could see that how far from your camp is the Jamarat. It's about 2 miles. Okay, so walking through the tunnels. طيب, Wadi Muhassir, this is the valley of Muhassir here. From there to there, that's the wadi. Okay? That's the wadi where, between Muzdalifah, this is where the valley of, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the stones on top of the elephants to destroy them. طيب. It's slaughtering housing, you're going to need it because everything has been done on your behalf. I think your company was slaughtered. Yes, you go with the company, the slaughtering is included, yes?
Included, but which one I go with? They say you can come with us if you want. So they say.
Oh, so they're not paying for a company, they want to do it themselves?
No, they included just, they pay for Hadi. For Tamattu, but Qurbani, they say you have to pay that if you want it.
Oh, so it's not included then?
No, it's not included.
No, theirs is included. It's included?
Mine's not included. No.
It's not included, yours?
It's not, the payment is not included, but if we pay them up front, they will do it for us.
No, but
So it's not part of the overall cost.
yeah, Hadi is included, but Qurbani is not included. Hadi is included.
Hadi, talking about the Hadi?
Yeah, Hadi.
There's no Qurbani, I don't know what's Qurbani.
Yeah, Hadi is included.
So what is Qurbani?
Qurbani is al-Udhiyah.
You go to Hajj, they're not going to do your Qurbani. No Hajj company will do your Qurbani.
Yeah, but all of them they say Qurbani, they don't say Hadi.
That's what you just said, because what I said. The Udhiyah, the Hadi, is for the Pakistanis Qurbani, both is Qurbani. So I said, is it included your Hadi?
Included Hadi, yes.
Yours is included.
Yeah, included.
Yours?
I'm going to pay them up.
Yeah,
I'm going to pay them before I go.
So it's not included in the price of the whole
That's
thing.
right, yes.
Yours?
It's an additional cost, yeah.
That's it.
Additional cost. Okay.
But they say,
Well, if they're going to do it themselves, then it's better for you to go to, if they're going to do it themselves, to see it yourself. You can take some of the meat as well. Would be good. But if they're going to give it to a different company, a third party, like a Raja, all of that. Anyway, I'm sure inshallah they will do your Hadi.
yeah, inshallah. I asked them for slaughtering, they say, yeah, you can come with us.
Right. Now, leaving Mina for Arafah on the 9th day, that is after sunrise, depart, okay, for Arafah while making Talbiyah or Takbir. Talbiyah or Takbir. لا إله إلا الله له لا شريك له الملك وله الحمد والتكبير الله أكبر ولبيك اللهم لبيك. طيب. Arrive at Arafah before Zawal if possible, before Dhuhr. Okay. Excellence of the day of Arafah. Prophet ﷺ, he said, there is no day on which Allah frees more of his slaves from fire than the day of Arafah. And he boasts about his slaves before the angels. So this is a day where you need to make sure that you are spending it in dua. Some people are spending it in just chit-chatting, subhanAllah. Pray Dhuhr and Asr at Masjid Namira if you can. If you can't, anywhere. 2 rak'ah each combined at the time of Dhuhr, after listening to the Imam's sermon. So the khutbah first and then the prayer afterwards. Okay? This is Masjid Namira. Now, it may be difficult to go to it because of the crowd, in which case you may do it in your camp. Now, in your camp, that's where, the knowledge comes in. If your camp and your company supplied you with somebody who is knowledgeable, then you will make the khutbah inside your camp. But if you have got nobody who's knowledgeable, then they'll put like a speaker or receiver and they start receiving the khutbah from there, to make you to listen to a khutbah which is in their camp. We are far away, not connected. So the best thing is to have a person give you the khutbah which is suitable to the people who are there as well, who is from the same area. Reminds me of things. Now this Masjid Namira is part of Arafah, not all of it. You see, look, I'm going to give you the dividing line. This is Arafah border. Which part do you think is inside Arafah? The one is on the right or the one who's on the left? I've told you before, yes. Which one is it?
The left part.
The left part is where?
Inside.
The left part is inside.
I think the right part is
Right.
The opposite. Because we said the front rows, you remember,
Allah.
are to be what? Outside. This is the front rows. This is where? Do you understand me? Front row. This is the front rows because the people are praying this way. It's the direction of the Qibla. So the ones who stay in the front all the time, they're outside Arafah. Okay, right. Follow the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, join the Dhuhr and Asr. You'll find maybe in your camp some madhab they will not do, like the madhab al-Hanafi. They will not join the prayer. Okay? Well, if you are convinced that you should, this is the hadith in Sahih Bukhari, Hadith Jabir, that he joined. If you believe that this hadith is sahih, then you could they pray on their own Dhuhr, you pray with them the Dhuhr, and then you do your own Asr. Straight away combine it. That's the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Okay, but if you are a person who do not believe in the combination and your camp is combining, okay, right, what you should do, you should combine, do it then like a volunteer, but don't break off in front of everybody like that. That's the people just breaking off in front of everybody. It's not correct. So do it with them and then consider that as a nafila, voluntary, and then you do your asr at the time. After salah, move to your place inside and stand facing the Qibla, raising your hands, making dua and reciting talbiyah. You may go to the rocks under the mountain of mercy. If you have somebody who's knowledgeable, he might choose a group of you. He will avoid taking the old people, because where you are in Arafah, they're not going to be far away from that mountain, from the mountain of, they call it Mountain of Mercy. Now, the Prophet ﷺ, regarding the dua that he used to say in Arafah, said, خَيْرُ مَا قُلْتُ أَنَا النَّبِيُّونَ, best thing that I said in Arafah, meaning the prophets. So that means the prophets, they stayed in Arafah as well. لا إله إلا الله له لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير. Repeat that dua. Okay, it's Arafah. Let me show you now the map of the Arafah. This is Arafah map. Okay, that's the Masjid Namira, and this is the Mountain Mercy. Okay, this is the path to Muzdalifah. Now, right. Now, as I said, the Prophet ﷺ did not go on top of this mountain. Here, he did not go into this mountain. Can you see that? Yeah, he did not go with that one. Actually, he had he had stayed in next to the rocks. You know the rocks where the rocks are? Underneath. Not the mountain. He didn't climb. In the rocks. He made the rocks behind him, facing the Qibla and making the dua. If the person who's knowledgeable is with you, he will show it to you. He will show you where the place is. Okay, leave in Arafah when the sun has set. You leave Arafah for Muzdalifah with calmness, tranquility. Okay? Remember, make sure that you do not leave until after sunset, and definitely going to leave after sunset, because you're going to be waiting for your coach to come to take you to Muzdalifah. And here we say, if you are having the coach ready for you before sunset, and they made you to jump in the coach in order for them to leave, make sure you don't intend to leave until sunset. Because even if you're inside Arafah, body-wise, but if your intention is to leave, then you're already outside Arafah. So don't make your intention to leave until the sunset. Because Arafah is to be achieved by part of the day and part of the night. Pitfalls related to Arafah: fasting the day of Arafah. It's not recommended for you to fast the day of Arafah as a pilgrim, only for those who are not going making Hajj. This is your day of Eid, that's why they make it a khutbah, Eid, for you as a Hajj. And leaving Arafah before sunset, that would violate a wajib. Some even say a rukun, like Imam Malik, pillar. Standing outside the limits of Arafah, that will damage the whole of Hajj of yours. Ascending the Mount of Mercy or facing it during dua, thinking it has the same merit. No. Wasting the time in sleeping or food or idle talking, wandering around with no purpose. The day of Arafah is probably the best day of your life. Do not waste it in any time, in anything rather than just dua, other than the dua and the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Muzdalifah. Night of the 10th of the Hijjah, when reaching Muzdalifah, pray Maghrib and Isha. You could pray them combined, you could pray them separate, each in its time, no problem. Okay, combination is allowed, and praying it separately. Well, most of the people pray it combined, but the thing is, you see here, is very important, is that you're being delayed in Arafah, and you might be delayed so much that you are reaching the middle of the night. And the middle of the night here is the midpoint between Maghrib and Fajr. Then make sure that you do not postpone that prayer until Muzdalifah. Because if you have passed the midnight mark, you've passed the limit of the prayer. So pray your Maghrib and Isha in Arafah. It's not really going to violate anything if you pray it in Arafah. The sunnah is to pray them where? In Muzdalifah. But as I said, like last year it happened to us. We were the last coach to leave, and they were giving us, like a seat order, bus number 1, bus number 7. And the time was arrived to 11:45. And as I said, it's not necessarily 12 o'clock is midnight, but that time was actually just about 12 midnight. Let's say, for example, today is the Maghrib, 9 o'clock, and we have the Fajr is, at the moment, comes in maybe it is actually maybe just a bit less than that, but let's say 3:30. So from 9 o'clock to 3:30, you've got 6.5 hours. Divide that by 2, that's 3 hours and 15 minutes. Add that to the 9 o'clock, makes it 12. That's 15 minutes past 12. That's midnight. That's in Luton. It's different, of course, in Mina at that time. So if you are pushed towards the midnight, then pray your Maghrib and Isha, even if your group did not. Because as I said, it could be what an ignorant person is leading you there. You say, no, we have to pray it in Muzdalifah. Just you pray your prayer, because you cannot push the prayer outside this time. There's no reason for that. It's not allowed. You're going to miss the whole prayer. So pray your prayer, Maghrib and Isha at Arafah, and then go to Muzdalifah. Muzdalifah can be achieved by any time you just pass there. But if you arrive there to sleep the night and to pray the Fajr of Muzdalifah, that's a pillar. But you do not pray anything apart from Maghrib and Isha. That means no sunnah. But praying the witr differs among the scholars, but you can pray the witr as well. Night of the 10th, maybe it's the hardest night. you sleep until Fajr. Pray Fajr at the beginning of its time. You'll find lots of people praying Jama'ah. You could just join any Jama'ah. Maybe you have to wait with your group as well. It is permissible for the weak women and the weak people, men and children, to leave after just midnight, to go to wait until to throw the Jamarat after sunrise. I don't think you will have this option because everybody's with everybody. It's a group. So you'll be stuck with the group. Even if your wife or your mother or old or something like this, you're going to be together. But anyway, everything will be made easy. Not like before. Alhamdulillah. طيب, this is where you're in Muzdalifah. If you can come to the Mash'ar al-Haram, maybe you will not be able to do so unless, as I said, you are coming with somebody who's knowledgeable to take you there. But you need to anyway. And takbir, tahleel, make dua, okay, until the sky becomes very bright. That means before sunrise. And you start to leave to Mina. Some people leave walking because your camp is not far away. Remember, Muzdalifah, start to your camp. Or you go by the coach. I would prefer you go by the coach, because it doesn't matter what time you're going to arrive, even if it takes you a long time in the coach, because it's still a long day. Don't worry about it. So you push towards the place before sunrise. You're going to end up there maybe 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, Allahu A'lam, in your camp. But you leave with calmness, and when you come to, if possible, okay, as I said, between Mina and Muzdalifah, you hurry. That is the Wadi al-Muhassar. But you're in the bus, you don't know where it is. If you're going walking like we did one of the years ago, I remember 5 years ago, we did walk, and the Wadi al-Muhassar, we just said to them, push a bit faster. Okay, that's Muzdalifah. It's the very hardest night, as I said, and that's Mina. So you're going to be camping somewhere in Muzdalifah. I don't know where in Muzdalifah here, but your camps in Mina is here. Yes? It's not far. That's your camp. Right. This is to Arafah. Mash'ar al-Haram. Like a masjid there. Okay. And this is Wadi al-Muhassar. We are actually very close to Wadi al-Muhassar in our camp. Right. Pitfalls related to Muzdalifah. Delaying Maghrib and Isha prayers until after the middle of the night. That's not correct. Spending the night outside the limits of Muzdalifah. No. You're going to be violating a wajib. Thinking that the pebbles have to be collected from Muzdalifah. Some people collect. You see them getting up and collecting, busying themselves. They don't even sleep, just collecting pebbles. It's not to be collected from where you're going, to close to Mina. From Mina, actually. Leaving Muzdalifah before Fajr for fear of the crowd. Prophet ﷺ gave permission only for women and weak people. Staying in Muzdalifah until after sunrise. The sunnah is to leave before sunrise. Coming after the day of the Eid, this is the day we call it Yawm al-Hajj al-Akbar. Arrive in Mina in the morning, 10th of Hijjah. This is the busiest day of Hajj. You will be doing the following: stoning, sacrificing, shaving, tawaf and sa'i. The sunnah is to perform the above in the mentioned order, but no harm to do them in any order. Even you could do the sa'i before the tawaf. Okay? Do the sa'i before the tawaf. In any order. The order, this is the sunnah of the order. Right. You can even do sa'i, as I said, before tawaf, but not in tawaf al-qudum. So if you can tawaf al-qudum, it has to be tawaf and then sa'i. But in this one, you could make sa'i before tawaf. Okay? As the sequence mentioned in the hadith of Abdullah ibn Umar. Okay, Mina, the 10th, throwing jamarat or jamarat al-aqaba. The wisdom behind throwing the jamarat is to follow the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. It's not you believe that there's a shaitan there, you are throwing stones onto him. Okay. And stone jamarat only on this day with 7, so you throw the jamarat with 7 small pebbles, stones, slightly bigger than the chickpea. as you can see in the picture, in the image. Okay, stand facing it, making Makkah on the left and Mina on the right. This is the way to throw this jamrah. And this is the only jamrah you throw it in this direction, whereas the other one from any direction. You make Mina on the left, Makkah on the left and Mina on the right. Say takbir, Allahu Akbar, while you're throwing each one. So Allahu Akbar, you throw it. Allahu Akbar, you throw it. Stone has to fall into the circle, otherwise you repeat it. So if you had hit it in the middle wall and bounced back, you have to repeat it. You're throwing inside, you're not throwing to the wall. The wall is just to make sure that you're going to fall down inside the circle. But it is not conditioned, nor it is sunnah to intentionally hit the middle post. As I said, what I do when I carry my pebbles, when I go from Muzdalifah to Mina, we go to the camp, get ready, and we're not allowed to go to throw the jamarat until they give us the go ahead. Each camp will lock their camps. It's by the government. And because they don't want them to be going all together, so they'll give them time to go to the jamarat. So you can't go on your own, just like that. You have to go with your group. So because of that, when you're going, it's going to take you time, because remember you're at the end of the jamarat area, the end of Mina. You collect your stones while you're going. That's the sunnah of the Prophet. While he was going, so you could collect them while you go. There are plenty on the road. You could collect them when you are in the camp, no problem. Collect 7, or you could collect for the following days as well, because each day is going to be 21, 21, 21. So collect 7. Okay, don't be fussy about them. Bring some measurement tape and how much it is. Just under the stone. But don't bring rocks. Once it starts, you think, oh, they are more powerful. It has to be like this. The picture is shown. Some people wash them with Zamzam water. I don't know why. It's not correct as well. They give them more extra power or something. And they do. Ignorance can create anything. There's no washing with Zamzam, there's nothing. But maybe you're going to be given the jamarat. The last time we've been given the jamarat in our hands. So they'll give you, for example, a bag. It's got jamarat, stones with it. Because there's a factory now, they are cracking stones. I'm not joking. Cracking the stone and make it easy. To make it easy. You may throw with a thrown used stone. So you could have a stone, you could pick it up actually from the circle if you want. No problem to throw the jamarat with it. Throwing jamarat al-aqaba, you cease reciting the talbiyah after throwing the last stone. Okay, you cannot perform the stoning until after sunrise. Remember that, after sunrise. And you do it after sunrise, inshallah, because you can't be with it before, unless you're not with your group. Okay? So even if you arrive before sunrise, you wait until sunrise and you throw the jamarat. When you have stoned the jamarat, everything becomes now lawful. Some would say to you, no, you need to do another 2, you have to be 3. There's no proof for that. Prophet he threw the jamarat and khalas, he took off his clothes. So you could just now do anything except for intercourse. Okay? So you could put perfume, just take off the clothes. So you are making half that. This is a partial freedom, or first tahallul, you should call it. And you need to make tawaf. This is as well for you to put your normal clothes, as long as you make tawaf al-ifada in the same day before sunset. If you stayed until sunset and you did not do tawaf al-ifada, then you pick up your ihram clothes, put them back on, and make tawaf al-ifada. This is skipped because it's a sacrificial animal. I'm not gonna, unless you're gonna sacrifice yourself with your own hands or something else. So I will skip this. This is where people make tawqeed, deputizing on their behalf to make, you're not going to slaughter. But I slaughtered with my own hands on the Hajj. I went there and I slaughtered. Okay? And I took some of their lamb as well. I liked it. Okay? I like to have the lamb because this is their, mashallah, the lamb is very nice. And something you do with your hands is special. Subhanallah.
That's what they said to me. They said to me, consult with yourself as well.
Khalas, slaughter yourself. Shall I show you to slaughter? Shall I show you?
I've done it sometimes. Not professional.
Right, well, basically, let me just, if you're going to do it, let me just tell you. First of all, it is sunnah to slaughter the sacrificial yourself, otherwise deputize. Slaughter your animal in any part of Mina or Mecca. It will not be valid in any other places except for these two places. Slaughtering time is from the sunrise of Eid until sunset of the third day of Tashriq. Then you've got 4 days. 7 people may share in a camel or a cow. If some of your family are left home, then if financially capable, you should arrange for qurbaniya, udhiyah, to be slaughtered back home. So you're making now 2. One which is the hadi for your hajj, and one which is udhiyah for your family. Okay? Don't forget that. You could deputize somebody here to do it on your behalf in this country, or you could do it on their behalf as well, in any country. But it's better to do it where the family is. That's for the udhiyah. Slaughter facing the qibla. If it is a sheep or cow, then place it on its left side and put your right foot on its right side. If it is a camel, then tie the left foot so it stands on its remaining legs. Do nahr while the camel is facing towards the qibla. And the dagger, others. Are you slaughtering a camel or?
No.
طيب خير إن شاء الله. طيب say Bismillah. That's very important. Bismillah. You could as well Bismillah Allahu Akbar and add as well. If recommended to eat from your sacrificial animal, and it is permissible to take some home as well. I don't think they're going to be allowing you to take some home. But you must give some to your, to the poor and needy. There will be lots of poor people that will take it from you. Who cannot afford a sacrificial animal should fast 3 days in Hajj, starting from the Ihram on Umrah, even including the 3 days of Tashriq. So if you don't have money, you could start fasting in Dhul-Hijjah before even the Hajj. And you could fast as well the 3 days of the Tashriq. Okay? And 7 when you return back home. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He says. That's 10 days because you did not sacrifice. You were not capable financially. Shaving, I'm going to skip this because you've done this in the Umrah. It's exactly the same thing. Okay? Now, Tawaf al-Ifadah. Then you go to Mecca to make Tawaf al-Ifadah. 7 rounds and 2 rak'ah behind the maqam. There's no exposing the shoulder, there's no diba', there's no ramil, which is the breast scope. Okay? And if you did this tawaf, if you didn't do this tawaf on this day before sunset, then you need to return to your ihram state, as we have said before. As for the menses women, okay, if she did not stop her menstruation, then she must leave with her group, and where she must leave her group, and she cannot stay behind, then she should arrange to stay behind with her mahram. We're not taking the fatwa of Shaykh Islam Taymiyyah where she's allowed to pad herself and make the tawaf. She can't make the tawaf. She has to wait until she's cleansed. Mecca, sa'i between Safa and Marwa. Now this is exactly the same thing that we've done in the sa'i of the Umrah. But here there's something. As for the Qiran, and as for the Ifrad, the one who does Qiran, none of you do Qiran, none of you do Ifrad, but I'm just saying to you, his sa'i of the Umrah would suffice for the sa'i of the Hajj. That's with a surety. And that's with the consensus. But some of the scholars, they say that even for the mutamatta', his sa'i for his Umrah, okay? His sa'i for his Umrah is sufficing, and it is not compulsory to do another sa'i. It's recommended, it's not compulsory. So if you are doing Qiran, which is Umrah, and you are going to Hajj but without a break in the middle, or you make an Ifrad, which is all the way as well, but without an Umrah, then the sa'i, okay, of yours is only one. So you could make the sa'i, when you make, the Tawaf al-Qudum, that sa'i of yours you make is sa'i of the Hajj. The sa'i of the what? Of the Hajj. And I'll tell you more things to explore into this issue. Remember we said that Hajj will not be compulsory until the person fulfills 6 conditions as a female, 5 conditions as a male. one of the conditions that he has to be adult. If he's not an adult, he's a child, his Hajj is acceptable, but it's not going to be sufficing for his Hajj of his lifetime until he becomes an adult. Say that this boy is making Quran, okay, and he was with his family doing Quran, Umrah, Hajj without a break, and they made their sa'i of the Hajj, okay, and they made it when they made the Umrah. This is before the 8th day. They went to Hajj and they went on the day of Arafah. On the day of Arafah, he got the wet dream. He became what? Adult. Okay? So he became an adult. Now this Hajj is going to be his Hajj of his lifetime, isn't it? But because he had forwarded his what? His sa'i. Okay, some other scholars said no, because he missed a pillar. Some scholars said no, he could repeat the sa'i again. Do you understand? So if he did the sa'i again, khalas, his Hajj would be acceptable for his Hajj of his lifetime. Is that understood, everybody? So I adopt the opinion, which is the opinion of Shaykh Ibn Taymiyyah, the opinion of our Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah, that sa'i, even for the mutamatta', is not compulsory. So my sa'i for my Umrah would suffice me for my sa'i for my Hajj. And believe me, the hardest part in the Hajj, it was Jamarat, no it's not in Jamarat, it is the sa'i of the Hajj. That's the hardest part. The sa'i not in the Umrah, the sa'i of the one? The Hajj. Hardest part. But anyway, if you want to do it, it's recommended. Return to Mina straight away. Stay in Mina for the days of Tashriq and their nights. It's preferable to stay in Mina during these days than going to Mecca. This is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Most scholars consider staying in Mina as compulsory, wajib. You may go to the haram at night to make tawaf and come back. To make tawaf and come back if you wish, as the Prophet ﷺ did that. On the 12th, the 11th, the 12th and the 13th, you throw the jamarat 1, 2, 3, each one with 7 stones. And you throw them after Dhuhr. And you could stretch that up to even the night. But during the day would be the best. So you most likely do it maybe Asr time. Okay. So after the first jamrah, move forward. As you know, each jamrah is different now. When you throw the first jamrah, you throw it from anywhere. But after you finish the 7th throwing with the first jamrah, you move forward. And then you stop between the first and the second. And you start making a long dua. Then you throw the second jamrah from anywhere, doesn't matter the direction. And then you move to the left. And then you stop and face the Qibla and make dua for a long time. Then you throw the third jamrah in the way that you threw it the day before. And that is, we're making Mecca on the left and Mina is on the right. And you don't stop, there's no dua. That's what you do with the 11th and the 12th. And if you wish, the 13th, because the 13th is not compulsory. You may leave Mina before the sunset if you wish, on the 13th. Sorry, on the 12th. And that is before sunset. And if you say that's the sunset, then you have to go to the following day. Staying to perform the Rami on the 13th is better and recommended. The Prophet had done it. Now we come to the pitfalls of the Rami. Performing the Rami during the days of Tashriq before Dhuhr is not correct. And throwing the pebbles all at once, it's not correct. So each one. And thinking that the pebbles has to be hitting the post or the wall, it's not correct. So it's just to fall in the circle. Putting the pebbles into the circle without casting. Like Allahu Akbar, and dropping it like this. It has to be what? To cast it, throw. And casting more than 7 pebbles. As people, they cast shoes and umbrellas. And I've seen lots of things, wallah. Pushing and shoving. Why should you push and shove? Just take it to your calm and easy. Throwing objects other than the small pebbles, like rocks and all of that. Making tawqeel in Rami. Some people, they just say, just let me in my camp, throw on my behalf. Don't take any tawqeel, don't be deputized, except if this person and he truly cannot go. Something wrong. Like he's a very old man. Okay, the pitfall related to Mina. spending the days of Mina and their nights outside Mina. It's not correct. And some pilgrims go to Mecca to perform Tawaf al-Wada' and return. It's not correct. Leaving Mina before the 12th of the Hijjah is not correct. This is Mina at night. Old Jamarat, new Jamarat. Okay? This is the Jamarat bridge in the old times, in the old days. Okay, Jamarat first, Jamarat second, Jamarat. Can you see them? And this is the new one. The new one is totally different. Jamarat, by the way, is in this one here. That's the Jamarat 1, Jamarat 2, and Jamarat 3. And you're going from here, inside. Okay? Fine. This is very, very old Jamarat picture. Very old. Okay, this is a flood. You can kind of see these signs just to familiarize with them. Signs just to say end of Mina, and the other side will be saying the start of Mina. Same thing, end of Muzdalifah. And each city or each area got different color. Muzdalifah is purple, and Mina is greenish or bluish, greenish, and Arafah, I think it's yellow. Last day, Prophet ﷺ said none of you should leave Haram until he makes the last tawaf. And the last thing of his and it is the tawaf. And it is only applicable to the Hajj, not to the Umrah. And farewell tawaf is an obligation except for menstruating women. If she menstruated, she doesn't have to stay for tawaf with that, she could just leave. Or people living in Mecca, they cannot do tawaf with that because they're in Mecca. How can they make a farewell of something and they're going to be stuck to it? Okay. If the man says women, she had stopped well before she left, then she could make tawaf with that. When you finish the tawaf, you leave the masjid walking normally, not backwards as some people they do. Prophet ﷺ used to carry Zamzam with him. Fine. That's the recap. Hajj summary. Ihram, assume Ihram. Okay, that starts when you made the Ihram, and then you go to Mina on the 8th day, and then on the 9th day you go to Arafah, and then the 9th night you go to Muzdalifah, the 10th night we should say, Muzdalifah, and also from Muzdalifah on the 10th day you go to Mina. Then after that you go to Mecca to make the Tawaf al-Ifadah, and then back to Mina for 3 days, and then after that you go to Mecca for the last day to make the Tawaf al-Wada', and then after that you leave. Those are summary of the Hajj. Okay, pillars of the Hajj. Ihram, standing in Arafah, Tawaf al-Ifadah, spend the night in Muzdalifah, and the praying Fajr at Muzdalifah. Okay, praying Fajr at Muzdalifah. Your first sa'i is sufficient for both types of Hajj and Qiran. That's what you should do. If you do it, if you otherwise, it's going to be finished. Hajj will be destroyed. Obligations of Hajj. The obligatory acts, these are not pillars, but they are obligatory. Ihram from the miqat, standing in Arafah during the night, up to the night. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man. We have finished now by saying the obligation of the Hajj are those obligatory acts. Those obligatory acts, they will not basically violate your Hajj, but there will be a penalty on them. Some of the scholars, they say that if you have left a wajib like ihram, you did not do the ihram, then you have to slaughter an animal. Some of them, they say there's no slaughtering, you have to repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The other one, they say slaughter an animal plus repentance. Fine, let's go to visiting the Medina. The Medina is not part of the Hajj, but you are there, you might as well learn how to make your maximization of the rewards for the Medina. This is Haram of the Medina. Medina is the Haram. Prophet ﷺ, he made it sacred, just like Ibrahim ﷺ made sacred the Kaaba, the Mecca. The Prophet ﷺ, when he migrated to Medina, he had a vision, a dream. He told the companions, I've been seen, shown a vision that I have been migrating to a land that has got palm trees, and it's between two lavas, haratayn, between haratayn. He also, the Prophet ﷺ, pointed towards the Medina and he said, it is a safe sanctuary. It is a safe sanctuary. So what is applied to the sanctuary of Mecca applies to Medina. Meaning, you're not allowed to bear arms, you're not allowed to fight in the games, you're not to harm the games, you're not allowed to cut the plants. Okay? All of that applies in Medina as well. You're not allowed to claim lost properties. You have to hand it into the offices. So, minutes of the Medina, it is the land of the Prophet ﷺ, migration, and its people are his neighbors and supporters, and it is the abode of faith. As the Prophet said, إن الإيمان لا يأرز إلى المدينة كما تأرز الحية إلى جحرها. The Iman goes to the Medina just like the snake goes to its hole. SubhanAllah. At its entrance there are guardian angels. Neither the Dajjal nor the plague will be admitted to it. So there's no ta'un comes to it, and there is no Dajjal comes into it, to Medina. And it is the land of revelation. Those are the merits of the Medina, and also it has, of course, the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ. And in that masjid there is a Rawdah, and also there is Masjid Quba, and it has Uhud, the mountains of Uhud, it has Baqi' al-Gharqad, it has the Uhud mountains. All of those are from the merits of the Medina. The Masjid of the Prophet, you know him, and as for the Rawdah, which is inside, as we're going to show it to you, Masjid Quba, we're going to see it inshallah as well, and Uhud is the mountains. We're going to see all of that. This is the Masjid of the Prophet ﷺ. Allah's Messenger ﷺ, he said, made these supplications, O Allah, make Medina as dear to us as you made Mecca dear, or more. O Allah, increase in Medina's twice the blessings what you have decreed upon Mecca. O Allah, bless our Medina, bless in our sa', which is a volume for food, like a measurement, and a mud, and make twice thy blessing. Let him die in the Medina, the one who can do it. This is a sketch of a plan of Medina. This is where the Masjid of the Prophet ﷺ, and this is the Qibla direction. And this is the green dome that indicates is on top of the grave of the Prophet of Allah, which is not being built by the Prophet or by the companions of the Prophet's dead anyway. It's not been built by the companions, not even after the eras, well after it's been built. And don't you ever think that the green dome is something that should be imitated in our masajid. This is Baqi' al-Gharqad, which is the cemetery that the companions were buried. Here is Abu Bakr, and here is Umar, and here is Aisha, and here is the wives of the Prophet ﷺ in that Baqi'. And this is some of the gates which are well known at King's Faith, which is the main entrance in there, and ladies' entrance as well in this area. And the main hotel area is now all around the Kaaba. This is the old sketch of Medina, Google map. Type masjid to be visited. The only two masjid in Medina to be visited with the intention of performing salah are the Masjid of the Prophet and Masjid Quba, the first masjid in Islam which was built. Other masajid and sites in Medina may be visited for their historical values, like we call it, for example, Masjid al-Qiblatayn, the two Qibla. But there's nothing to do with the Islamic sort of praying there. There's merits for it. It is not an obligation nor a condition for a Hajj to visit the Prophet ﷺ masjid or his grave. There are many fabricated ahadith about visiting the Prophet's grave, so you should be careful regarding reading the ahadith regarding the merits of the Prophet ﷺ's masjid or the merits of the Medina itself. Right, this is Masjid Quba. Prophet ﷺ used to go to the Masjid Quba on a Sabt, which is the day following the Jumu'ah, and he would perform 2 rak'ah. Now, there's no specific merits for doing it on Sabt, Saturday, but because the Prophet of Allah used to go after the Jumu'ah to go to the people who did not come to the masjid of the Prophet to see what's happening as well. And some of the scholars even said every Sabt used to go, that means every week, once a week. So there's no specific reward for going on a Sabt. Okay, so, and it's, when you go there to pray the 2 rak'ah, it's equivalent like of making making Umrah. So it's making like Umrah. Masjid Quba is located south of Medina, about 2 miles from the Masjid of the Prophet ﷺ. Now the Masjid of the Prophet of Allah is like, in terms of multiple, is 1,000 salah, whereas the other one we said Mecca 100,000 salah. 1,000 salah. Salah in the Masjid of the Prophet ﷺ is better than well, his congregation. I don't like the calculation, but it is 27 times multiplied by 1,000, 27,000. Salah in the expansions of the masjid has the same merit as a salah in the original masjid. Now this is the Rawdah Sharifa, narrated by Abu Hurairah in the collection of Bukhari, that the space between my house and my pulpit is one of the gardens of paradise, and my pulpit is at my fountain. Rawdah is always full. Now these days, alhamdulillah, there is no green carpet. It's supposed to be green carpet, now this carpet is not greened, because they used to fight for that patch. It was like all of the area. But still, people stay there for a long time, they don't move. And the brothers, they try to go at any time, Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock, still full. And there is, if you can pray the 2 rak'at Tahiyyat al-Masjid there, then it will be good. Okay, this is the sketch of the map of the Prophet ﷺ's masjid. Okay, and this is where the graves are. So now, before we used to pray here as well, but now there's no prayer in this area. It's all of it like a passage. You come from the right hand side, which is the gate of Salam.
Sorry, Sheikh, we can't see where you are.
Sorry?
We can't see where you are.
Number 1, Gate Salam.
We used to pray, yeah.
He said he used to pray.
You're not seeing what for Salam.
Can't see where you are.
Can't see your cursor on it.
Oh, the cursor. Right. Okay, how can I do the cursor now? Let me just see if I can see the cursor. Screen pointer option. What is that? Laser pointer?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that?
Yeah.
Yes,
I like that laser. Right. Gate Salam is from this direction, okay? Now this is the pulpit of the Prophet ﷺ. The gate is coming from here, the masjid. This area is not an area of praying anymore. Now the people pray where? From here. So the Imam is not anymore here. So the Imam is here now. It's not anymore there. So, which is better actually, because it used to be people want to go to the front row and people behind them start walking and all of that. So this area is now all of it just go to pass through, and you come to where the doors are, where the Prophet ﷺ's grave, and you visit the grave. If you keep to the masjid, you visit the grave only once. You don't visit the grave all the time, only once. These are the graves that are located like this: the grave of the Prophet, the grave of Abu Bakr, the grave of Umar, and I'll be pleased with them, and the Prophet ﷺ. Right. Now let's just go to the next slide for this. These are the gates. So some people used to think this is gate number 1, the Prophet, gate number 2, Abu Bakr, gate number 3 is Umar. No, it's all of them inside this middle one. All of them. So the Prophet of Allah is here, that's Abu Bakr, and that's Umar. So this is like how it is. Fine. The etiquette of entering the Prophet ﷺ masjid is the same as any other masjid. Enter with the right foot and say the dua and pray Tahiyyat al-Masjid. Walk respectfully with calmness and say salam to the Prophet ﷺ when you get to in front of the first big hall, and in the middle section of the brass screen, which is this one, and move to the next, which is Abu Bakr, and then the third one, it is Umar. Okay? Now to repeat the visit, repeating the visit, visit the grave of the Prophet ﷺ and say your salam to him, but do not repeat the visit except if you come from a trouble. As there is a warning from the Prophet ﷺ not to take his grave as Eid, it means a place to come to visit it often. لا تجعلوا بيوتكم قبورا ولا تجعلوا قبري عيدا وصلوا علي فإن صلاتكم تبلغني حيث كنتم. طيب, repeating the visit here, anyone can send salam to the Prophet ﷺ from anywhere, because there are special angels who will take your salam to the Prophet ﷺ. And people think that if I'm going to give to somebody salam while he's coming there, it would be better. No, your salam ﷺ from here and the salam of a person next to the grave will reach at the same time, because they are carried in a different way. So don't you think that because I'm closer to the Prophet, Allah will be able to hear me better? Visiting al-Baqi', where most of the companions, they died, and make dua as well, the same thing. They say this is the dua, Assalamu alaikum ahl al-diyar min al-mu'minin wal-muslimin wa inna insha'Allah bikum la'ikum. This is the Baqi' from above, and it keeps changing, by the way. As for Uhud, this is the mountains of Uhud here. These are the mountains of Uhud, and these are here the 70 martyrs of the Battle of Uhud. With them, these two. Can you see these two graves coming out? Something coming out where the red there. That's the one. That's the grave of Mus'ab ibn Umair and Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib, and next to them the 70 graves. This is where the hill that the 50 archers, you know, that hill that the 50 archers were on top of them to support the back of the army. Okay, they said this is where the 50 archers, Prophet placed them here, and whom being most of them, they went down. There were only 10 left later on. Khalid radiallahu anhu, before he embraced Islam, he killed all of them, and he came from the back of the army. Right, last I think slide, which is this one in Prophet's Masjid Baqi', and this is mountains of Uhud here. That's the Baqi', and that's the Masjid of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You have any questions? Alhamdulillah, we finished the slides, all of them, and now we just want to, if you have any question regarding what we have heard, especially those who want to go to Hajj, inshallah. If you have any questions, please go ahead.
Sure.
ترى حج؟
No, I'm not going to. No, just in Hajj during 2004, we were there, and the day of the Tarwiyah, as we were walking from Mecca to Mina, we walked, we didn't take a bus. On the road, there was because we're talking about lost property, you need to hand it back. So this was not actually a personal lost property, a lorry who dropped cheese everywhere on the road. And it was car just driving over it and smashing it and everything. And everybody was taken. So what's your view in this regard? It was going to be damaged by all the cars, and you couldn't.
Everybody take it as in what? Take it as for themselves?
For themselves, yeah.
It's not lost property. This is waste property.
Okay.
Lost property means the person lost it. This is a waste property. If somebody is driving, didn't stop, it's a waste property.
Mm-hmm. There's a big lorry dropped them in all boxes of cheese and everything.
So most likely that person is not going to come back for those cheeses.
No, it's on the road. So everybody's going to Tarawiyah. So they took
with cheese.
They took
Right. No, it's not lost property. Lost property, it's lost. Somebody's going to be looking for it. This is basically not going to look for it.
No.
No.
Ustad, you mentioned regarding staying in Mina is
Wajib.
during the days of Tashriq. What about people that leave Mina for long periods of the day or long periods of night? Is that an error in behavior?
The more you spend outside of Mina, the less reward you're going to have. You should be spending in Mina most of the day and most of the night. It's not really good just to spend the whole day outside in Aziziyah or in Mecca, and then just about part of the night you come before midnight and you slide in. Okay? Definitely, you have to be most of the night. but it doesn't mean that I should be spending as much as I can outside to spend most of the day there and then most of the night there. So they said before midnight, person should be coming, or even to the end, at least before Fajr, to get some of the night. But all of that will be in the expense of losing rewards. So if you have missed the Fajr, did not sleep there the night, then that's what the scholars say, that you have to slaughter an animal because of missing the night. But the less you are outside, the better it is. You should be in Mina. Because people, they don't like Mina because it's not as comfortable as... But we're saying it's not comfortable for these days, but maybe it's getting even better because there are some buildings going on now. Instead of camps, there will be buildings like they're trying them. They're putting like a sample buildings there.
Yeah, 2 stories of bunk
More,
beds.
yeah. So they're trying them. They're okay, and then they might make the buildings there instead of having tents. The buildings will stay for a long, long time. Well, the tents, you know, I'm really surprised that these tents lasted until today. With the heat of the sun and all of that.
And the weather conditions as well.
The weather condition,
Rain and wind.
they are very powerful, but they still, you know, they're going to stay forever. But the building's better. It costs a lot of money. You're talking about more than 3 millions in little spot. So you have to have what? High story buildings, you know, lofty buildings. So they might make a building for Pakistan, building for each Muslim country. Now,
Sheikh, the 3 days in Mina and then you leave. Some people said on the 3rd day they left after Fajr and they said this is the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After Fajr prayer.
of
On the 3rd day. Tashriq.
you mean the 13th of Dhul Hijjah?
That's right, yes.
You mean the 4th day, which is from Arafah. So the day of the Eid and following 3 days.
Yes.
So they left after Fajr. And
They
that's the
left,
Sunnah.
and he said, but we thought that was later on maybe.
No, the throwing of the 3 Jamarat, that's definitely by the Prophet ﷺ was done after Dhuhr. So it's impossible that the Prophet had left Fajr on the 13th. Do you understand that? He threw the Jamarat, all these Jamarat, he threw them after Dhuhr. So how can he throw them after Dhuhr when he's already, as you have said, had left?
No. Sheikh, is there any evidence to say that he did that those 3 days and he did it all after Dhuhr or that time?
All of them say after Dhuhr. There's evidence, of course. We don't say anything. Everything in Hadith Jabal about that. He said after Dhuhr. And to do them after Dhuhr when there is much cooler to do them before Dhuhr, that means it's important to do them after Dhuhr. If you've done them cooler, you know, like morning, better.
No.
Just when it's about, you know, just about sunrise. Better than to go to the heat.
No.
And go to the Dhuhr prayer. Yeah, there is, and there's a very strong opinion. It's not actually a very strong evidence for that. Not opinion, of evidence regarding this. The controversial goes is that when you have congestion, are we allowed to stretch that? We could stretch it after night, after Maghrib, we could stretch it. Or we have to stretch it before.
No, they had a particular religious view that is the day that they leave is that they leave after Fajr, they stone and they leave.
These 2 things here talking about. One which is after Dhuhr, while they're stoning,
Yeah.
and which is, I think you're talking about something else maybe. You're talking about, am I allowed to gather the throwing of 2 nights in 1 night? Like for example, a person, he might throw, which is the ones who are like at the time of the Prophet of Allah, they used to be the shepherds, the ones who work in difficulty time. So they used to throw the Jamrah of the first day and they gather with it the second night. So during the night they go and they throw the Jamrah of the following day. That's before Dhuhr, of course.
Yes.
Okay? But this is for some people who are in need of like him, not for any person. جمع جمع يومين في رمي يوم واحد. That's correct. Yeah, no problem. But you know something, that some people, what they do, they, on the first day when they throw the Jamrah, which is after the Eid, they throw the Jamrah, They go, because Mecca is empty, they make the tawaf al-wada', farewell tawaf.
Oh. No,
They come back and throw the jamarat and go home.
we haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah. So, because خلاص بيقدر يطلع طواف الوداع. That's it. He's done طواف الإفاضة. On Eid al-Eid. Doing the first jamarat. So during the night he throws the jamarat for the following day.
Oh, I see.
Even he's not in need. This is Jordanian fatwa, for example, in our country. Jordanian fatwa we call it. خلاص. So he throws the night jamarat. And he's already done what? The Jamara has got fatwa, but he makes his own fatwa and I make a tawaf. Why should I go to Mecca? I go to Mecca and tawaf with that, and I leave. I'm not going to go back to Mecca. That's it. Then I leave from Mina to Medina.
I see.
See? Yeah. You call it very clever, I call it very satanic. It's not clever, this is. The people do all sorts of things. People should not be always looking for concessions. Concessions. And they go into sometimes not concession, this is just like messing about. Yeah, this is one day. So if you have time to stay for the 13th day, do it. If you don't want to, there is no harm upon you. There is no sin if you want to go in 2 days. 11th and the 12th, and you go. But you have to go before sunset, otherwise you have to stay for the following day. Throw the Jamal. What was that?
That's someone downstairs messing with the microphone.
Okay.
It's upstairs.
It sounded like a boom.
Yeah.
So the boundaries in the Mina, Muzdalifah, are they allowed to expand it if the Muslims expand the force?
Of course, Mina is planted already. Mina is outside Mina. The camps, some of the camps are outside Mina. You could see them. The sign says, Mina ends here, and the arrow is dividing the camp. So some of the camp is outside Mina already. So all of these camps are inside Mina, even though they are outside, because anything which is linked to Mina is part of Mina. It's like the masjid. So this masjid is a masjid, but outside is not a masjid. But during the Taraweeh prayer, we made that area, which is part of the shop, to be part of the masjid. So it became part of the masjid. So I'm getting the masjid reward, even though I'm praying where opposite to that shop in the car park. So whatever expands comes from the masjid. The same thing with the haram. These hotels, they've got musallayat, the tower clock, Tawheed, Dar al-Tawheed. These musallayat during the seasons of Hajj and Umrah, they are linked to the haram because it's full. But during the days which is empty, no, they're not linked. You should go downstairs and go, because the whole courtyard or the places in front of the haram is what? Empty. You should go.
Mostly Jumu'ah.
Yeah, Jumu'ah is always linked.
Yeah.
I mean, Jumu'ah, if you don't really go as early as 8 o'clock, you can't get a place.
No.
8 o'clock, as early as 8, I'm talking about 3.5 hours before the Jumu'ah prayer. Otherwise, you're going to spend your day in the sun. So if you are living in one of these, mashallah, luxury hotels, you don't have to worry about it. If you didn't wake up 8 o'clock, even 10 o'clock, you could just go to the musalla.
Sorry, Sheikh. Sorry.
You get what you pay.
Concerning that, Sheikh, because obviously in the prayer times in those days are very busy, and they come to the shopping yard. Even the hotel, they come to the foyer of the hotel, the lines, which is good. But some people, they just pray about the 20th floor. There's a musalla there.
It's all of them the 20th floor.
But
Musallayat is always on the 20th floor.
But can that be acceptable? Because the line
it's
is
like you're praying in a masjid which has got more than floors.
But the 20 floors, there's a space, or the courtyard, the line hasn't gone back to that.
What I'm just saying is that if it's in the season, it's always full. But the season is always full,
No.
more than full.
Yeah.
So we said in Ramadan,
Yes.
definitely. In the Hajj, definitely. Jumu'ah, definitely. Other than that, if you see it's empty, you have to go downstairs. It doesn't make a difference downstairs or upstairs. It doesn't make a difference. As long as the rows are linked.
But
So it's not have to be linked, first floor, we have to link it to the second floor, to link it to the third floor. It doesn't make like this. The link is just that, it's the area. So my musalla, in this musalla, is maybe on the 5th floor, maybe it's on the 10th floor, doesn't matter. So all of these are linked as long as the one from outside linked.
So, but the line.
And there is as well, there is no road.
Yes.
road, like for example cars and all of that.
Sure. That makes sense. But Sheikh, for example, it comes to the courtyard of the hotel, but it finishes in the middle of the courtyard. So the back, there could be another 20 rows there, but people still going up to the 10th floor. And I'm just saying.
Okay, listen to me. Any person had prayed in a place where we have established it's a masjid, then his prayer is acceptable, but he could be sinned for not coming to the front. Say for example, this masjid is about 6 floors, and the people filled up in the Jum'ah, first floor and second floor, third one and the fourth one and the fifth one were empty, and this person went to the 6th floor. His prayer is accepted, but he sinned. But if he had prayed outside, where there is in the masjid is a space, and he prayed outside and there is no need, he prayed in the car park of that shop, his prayer is invalid. Do you understand me now? Yes. So these hotels are not part of the masjid. If he prayed in them, it's very great. But once they link to the masjid now, it doesn't matter which floor it is.
That's right.
Because part of the masjid.
Yes.
Khalas. Okay? Fadl.
Sheikh, when you showed the valley where the elephant army was destroyed, so is the dwellings, the tents, is that next to that?
The wali?
The places, the tents, are they next to that?
Yeah, these are our tents. Not far away from, there's a hospital. I can't remember what's the name of the hospital there. There's a hospital there. Behind that hospital is the area of the valley. I don't know if you've been there or not.
Yeah, past the hospital.
Yeah, next to that.
It's a massive hospital.
Huh?
It's a big hospital.
It's a big hospital. Yeah, it's the hospital is actually where the valley is.
So Sheikh, it's not a problem that the place you live is close to the
No, it's not.
punishment?
As long as you... Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala وَسَكَنْتُمْ فِي مَسَاكِنِ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا وَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمْ كَيْفَ فَعَلْنَا بِهِمْ. You have lived in the dwellings of the people who had wronged themselves. That if you are not from this area, if you are passing, you have to pass quickly. Okay? I don't think there is people there in that. It's just a road. There's nothing there, just saying. But to live next to it is different from passing. Okay? So if you pass it, if you know what it is, you pass quickly. Alright? Otherwise we're going to make I don't know, no minute. Take it away minute because there's a valley there. So you just keep away from that area, and you pass it quickly. But I don't think there's people living inside it. I don't think so. But there was not in the hospital, behind the hospital. There's a road, I think. There's a road there. Can't remember exactly. If you are going with special packages, you might be living at the beginning of Mina, where the Jamarat area. There is some of the packages where they go to special tents, and they are, close to the Jamarat. Like somebody said, just throw my Jamarat from my campus. That's you're paying a lot of money if you're in the front. They're next to the Jamarat. As soon as you come out of the bridge, they're next to the Jamarat. You can see it now here. Yeah, there is there's people living here. You can see them. See the tents?
No, we go blue.
Sorry. I haven't done anything.
No signal.
No signal. Hang on.
That's the window key.
Alright, hang on. Yeah, I'll do it. Now there will be a signal. Yeah. No?
Please wait.
Slow down there.
Now.
Yeah, that's the one. See the tent?
Yes.
Look how far. These are living in the Jamarat. They could throw Jamarat from here. Look at them very close. So these are special tents here. This is a new Jamarat. First Jamarat, second Jamarat, third Jamarat. Can you see them? They go from here. How many floors we got? 1. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see that? And on the top of the roof, 5.
Fine.
It made it so easy.
And it's air conditioned. If Shaitan was there, they will not have been in that condition. Don't think Shaitan is there. MashaAllah, fully aired. And when they go from here, it's like I call it like a runway, you know, airplane runway. It is an aeroplane. It used to be before difficult, but these days, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. You find it easy, so easy, so easy. There is tents here, where my arrow is, there's tents, I've seen them here as well. Belong to some of the, you know, English people who come from here as well, they go there. Very close to them. I mean, if you live there, MashaAllah, tabarakallah. And there's a train now at the moment that passes as well next to the Jamarat from this area. A train. I don't know how to apply for the train, but
The new train ship.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you have to book it online on their website with the ticket.
For the Hajj, I'm not talking about Umrah, Hajj
Umrah.
Umrah. Because Hajj and Umrah, and then they give you that,
Share this for certain countries.
they give you like a tag. You could open the
For certain countries for the train.
certain countries, like you said, certain countries for the train. Not everybody can do the train. Yeah. Yeah, it's not everybody. Correct. Yeah, I've never been in the train. I wish I would like to see it. Have you been to the train?
I've seen the train, but I didn't.
Okay.
I went on the train yet.
Hmm?
I went on that train.
For the Hajj and Umrah?
No. But
What's
it's the same one they use, right? It's the
I don't
No,
know.
this is different, but
different
it's
ship.
kind of like a metro.
It's a local. It's like a metro.
Local, yeah.
Like a
Like a metro. It's not. You're talking about posh trains.
Oh,
The
okay.
one
No,
from
it's
Medina to
posh.
Mecca.
This is like a tramway.
Brand new.
Yeah.
Is it fast?
Oh,
Yeah, but I slept,
Also
so I didn't get to enjoy it
Jeddah
as much.
This
You can
is,
enjoy what? The desert? It's only desert all the
this
way.
is last year we want to try to get it in Ramadan, but it was not. It's everything ready, but they didn't operate it.
Yeah, you're in Ramadan. No, but he was in Ramadan. He was there.
Sorry,
We were in Ramadan. He went to the train.
last
From-
year.
Yeah, this year.
No, this year. Yeah, but we saying last year.
We were this year.
I think it only opened this year, the train, didn't it?
Yeah, but it was already last year.
But this Ramadan, we went.
So
We went in Ramadan. He went in the train from Mecca to Medina. It was brand new. Yes, it was just a new area. New.
Yeah, it's a new
It was still VIP.
No, but it's working.
Only VIP going. That's it.
And how many hours, yeah?
I think 3 or 3.5.
3.5. Same like as a car.
car, you could make it faster. With no stops,
No problem. It's very
It's
fast.
not fast, is it?
It was like 3 hours. I was sleeping.
It's better than the bus, better than the coach.
If you go by, you know, sorry, if you go through the Saudi Arabian cars, which are crazy ones, fast. They'll do, you know, they'll do 120 miles plus. But then the train, is it safe? I mean, the train there's no camels crossing? Or?
No, sorry, I was sleeping half the time.
I've seen the video, it's really raised high up type of thing, but I think they're protecting the area maybe, but it's a very fast train, 2.5 hours from Jeddah to Medina, they say.
That's very fast, you said 3.5.
I went from Mecca.
2.5.
Yeah, 2.5. they open-
MashaAllah. 2.5 is very fast.
That's
Very
right.
fast.
That's very fast, 2.5. That's a bullet.
Yeah, that's one of the fastest trains in the world. It comes in, I think, number 7 or 9.
You're talking about 160 miles an hour, maybe.
Yeah, it's amazing. So-
Because from Jeddah to Medina, the distance is 260.
at least 5 hours.
Yeah, 260. MashaAllah. With no stopping? Or
I'm not sure where this stops twice.
very good, MashaAllah.
By plane is already nearly 1 hour. It's almost 1 hour.
Yes, I'm just saying, it's almost as a plane.
Yeah, plane is almost 1 hour.
Yeah, 1 hour
Yeah,
a plane.
1 hour, yeah, per plane. We did
Mashallah.
Jeddah to Medina.
Khair. طيب, any other questions apart from trains and planes?
Sheikh, if you come to Muzdalifah very late, maybe close to Fajr, and you didn't know that you have to pray your Arafah, your Salah at Arafah.
Any person who can catch up in Arafah even before Fajr, he caught up. I just said that before.
Muzdalifah, Sheikh,
He came to Muzdalifah
very late.
and he did not catch up with Arafah.
No, Salah, Maghrib al-Isha in Muzdalifah.
He did skip the Salah deliberately.
No, because of the coach came very late to
He
Muzdalifah.
should have prayed inside the coach.
He didn't know what to, he thought he had
Then
to
he
wait.
prayed whenever he knows.
Yeah.
You can't use it. If he knew, he can't pray it. If he knew that he cannot pray it after midnight, and he pushed it after midnight, he cannot pray it. Khalas, it's gone. He has to repent to Allah and increase in voluntary. May Allah accept his... Because you can't just compensate something that you did, push it deliberately. But if he didn't know, yes, he prays whenever he knows. Even if he prays it even after Fajr. He didn't know. Ignorant, no problem, we'll teach him. But the Maghrib and Isha, we have to pray them before midnight. Should not push them after midnight. No, Allahu A'lam. You know, people under the impression that Maghrib and Isha ends with Fajr. Isn't it? No, come on, ask us.
Isha, mostly Isha, not
Most of the Isha people, they make it until Fajr. You tell me which one does he know that is until
Isha or
all of the things is Fajr.
Yeah.
Sahla. You go to your relatives, your father, your mother, up to Fajr. Yes, that's right. Up to midnight. نعم والله أعلم جزاك الله خير يا حبيبي سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت